What if you're eating now? I'm starving. I'm starving.
Welcome back to part 2 of my Asia trip. As you can see, we are no longer in Vietnam and instead safely arrived in Taiwan. We made a little pit stop at 7-Eleven, and my freaking god, you guys, I finally understood why Americans make countless videos reviewing the drinks, snacks, and food at the 7-Elevens in Asia. Like, it's nuts out here. I got snow crab onigiri, some chocolate cookies, and these cute little cacao mints. Sorry, really quick nail appreciation break. Ooh. New nail goofing. So we arrived at Green World Hotel, went up the elevators to find our room. It was super clean and we had 3 twin-size beds, which was pretty epic. And then put the card in. Who has card? Hello. This is kind of scary. It was so dark, literally couldn't see anything. Oh my god. And look at this fancy bathroom. I really regret not using that bathtub. After we settled in, we ate at this delicious hot pot place, but I felt very uncomfortable filming in there because everyone was staring at us. They all knew we were dirty American tourists. So my sister and I decided to walk around the Ximen shopping district just to look around. By this point, most shops were closed, but oh my god, I was so intrigued with these endless claw machines like everywhere. You literally could win anything, like ramen, gummies, banana milk, anime figures, laundry detergent, iPhones, AirPods, Oreos. Dude, the list goes on. I even saw lobster, which you have to like redeem at like a restaurant. And I did play the claw machine a couple times because it was so tempting and always seemed easy, but I never won anything, not even the smaller items with like the candies inside. Huge scam. Play at your own discretion. Love seeing all the cute items at the stores. I really wish I bought this duck lamp. So we stumbled upon this photo booth, Parikura area, where you can like dress yourself up with these cute accessories. And I picked the Aries headband. Hee. Plus they had these fun props that you could also use. I picked this pink cake and snagged a pair of these flower sunglasses. I think we were going for like a cute bubbly pink theme since it was actually Valentine's that day. IDK, we didn't plan to do this. It was just very last minute and we were just having fun. I forgot how much it was to print one of these, but it was totally worth it because they turned out so cute. Here's more 7-Eleven propaganda. I loved that they had this little guy as their mascot. I was obsessed. Yeah, so we ended the day getting some foot massages because we were walking so much the last several days and desperately needed to decompress a bit. No free feet. Day 2, we had a big day ahead of us. All of us decided that we wanted to go and experience the beautiful outdoors. And a lovely hike to a natural hot spring was proposed to the group. Honestly, I was so excited because I definitely prefer exploring more of nature or like less urban sites when it comes to traveling. So I quickly gobbled my sukiya because we needed something fast and cheap since this trip was going to take a while. We strapped ourselves in on the bus that was headed north of Taipei. A majority of the ride was pretty chill, but towards the end it got bumpy because the roads got really narrow and windy. We got dropped off, kind of felt like we were in the middle of nowhere. It suddenly was just very rural and we were trying to find the entrance of this hike because it's technically not an official path. It's a well-kept secret amongst the locals. But also not really because you can easily Google it. I think people just want to gatekeep it so the hot springs don't get too overcrowded. So we ended up getting lost and basically we were walking back and forth a dozen times on this person's farm trying to see if there was like an opening somewhere, but there wasn't. It was fine. Apparently we got off like 2 or 3 stops too early on the bus, so we walked back onto the main road to find the real entrance of this hike. And the trek up was so refreshing. The air was very clean. I would say it's more of an intermediate level because we had to cross the flowing water twice. I got one of my shoes soaked. And there were a lot of bigger rocks on the path that you had to be cautious of so you don't trip. But overall, it was very doable and not traumatic at all, like Pome Mountain. Haha. I want to say the hike took around like 20 to 25 minutes. And we made it to the end and then got to soak in the water.
Excellent. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Or so I thought! So I met up with my other sister in Taiwan at a night market along with her boyfriend. And as you can tell from this picture, I didn't look very happy, and that was because I realized that I lost my wallet back in the hot springs when we were frantically trying to catch the last bus back to the city. And I lost all my cards and cash. Yeah, it was extremely devastating, so I couldn't film anything the rest of the night because I was just way too upset. Though those wax apples with the plum powder, they were quite excellent though. So day 3, I was still pretty bummed out, but was trying my best to keep my spirits up high. We grabbed a delicious breakfast. It was super nostalgic because I would eat youtiao a lot when I was younger. And I bought a new wallet. Was pretty happy with this find. We wanted to look at the Lunar New Year decorations, but they were starting to take everything down, so we just walked around the area to do some retail therapy, and we stumbled upon this long-ass line for these egg tarts. I don't even think it's fair to call them egg tarts because they just tasted completely different. Here's my random food review.
It's good. It's really creamy, and the flavor's really good. And it's not that sweet, but the crust ain't right.
What is this? This tastes delicious compared to that one.
It's like sand.
I bought some new clothes afterwards and grabbed dinner at a Hong Kong restaurant with a friend. No documentation, sorry. For dessert, my dad really wanted me and my sister to meet up with an old family friend who was in the country for the week, so he treated us to some sweet douhua, which is basically like a tofu pudding that can be eaten savory as well. When we finished, my sister really wanted to go for a late night biking session, and I was just not in the mood to. Somehow she convinced me. I didn't really regret it though because it was super peaceful, and we got to see the Lantern Festival sculptures. I'ma speed run some of my favorite ones. Why are Taiwanese people obsessed with minions? Who can explain to me? The next day, we packed up our things and it was high-speed rail time! We were headed to Tainan for a couple days. It was my first time on such a fast train. It was wild. By the time I tried to fall asleep, we arrived.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, while we were planning our itinerary, I didn't take into account of my exhaustion. So by this point, we just kind of went with the flow and did whatever, whenever. Of course, we had to get the beef soup in Tainan. That shit was so delicious, I could have slurped 20 bowls down my gullet. So after lunch, we explored the area a bit, and believe it or not, this was the only time we got boba in Taiwan. I got this pu'er plum tea with herbal jelly. It was so good. Then we tried to visit a cat cafe, but we had to pay a minimum amount to sit down and chill inside. But we just ate and had boba, so we just decided to go on a nice stroll instead. It was great, finally being able to enjoy some decent warm weather outside with the sun shining, because it was so overcast the last couple days. I could literally feel the life coming back inside of me. At night, we checked out this little night market and some more shops in the area. Had to borrow money from my sister, went to a cool thrift shop, got distracted by the countless gacha machines. I don't think I really bought anything this day. All of us were just very tired, so we were just trying to take it easy. And we had a simple but yummy dinner full of veggies. Yum yum. Day 5, we started off with some breakfast sandwiches and hung out at the most amazing cafe I've ever been to. Why? Because this place is known for creating cute characters that you can choose, which are made out of milk foam on the top of any drink of your choice. Pretty sure I took like 100 photos. They were so perfect in every way. If you're ever in Tainan, I highly recommend this cafe. The owners were super lovely and sweet, and I love spending time there.
It's so fucking cute. So cute. I feel sad.
Afterwards, we biked to the sausage museum, and unfortunately, I didn't buy any sausages, but I did learn a lot about the history of sausages in Taiwan and how they are preserved. Nearby, we biked to the Anping district where there were a bunch of vendors and food stalls. This area was definitely more touristy. I got this jelly cat paw that was mango flavored. And at the perfect timing, we encountered the beginning of one of the local temple parades or ceremonies where they were playing music and lighting up firecrackers. And they had the Jiang, which are like the 8 generals that are represented as, spiritual guardians or bodyguards that ward off or punish evil spirits. Ate some fried stinky tofu as a little snacky. And then we went to the Anping Old Fort to check out the view, which was nice, but the windows were kind of dirty, so it was kind of hard to see outside. And just when the day seemed so perfect, peaceful, and I just felt so grateful to be traveling in a new country and having cool new experiences, I twisted my ankle! And the worst part is, it was because I was trying to take a picture with my friend, with both of us jumping mid-air. I'm just gonna warn y'all now, if you're squeamish, look away. My ankle was a literal 90 degrees. My entire weight pushed it all the way down, and I immediately felt an intense jolt of pain that I hope to never experience again. So yeah, it was super swollen. I was forced to watch the sunset in front of me while icing my ankle before I could properly bike back to the hotel.
So it's currently 9:54. This trip has felt like I went through 6 lifetimes. And I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't even know the life I had before this. I have not been on a trip for this long since like, oh my god, my mosquito bite is so itchy. I haven't been on a trip like this long since like 6 years ago. And I have not been on a trip where I'm just constantly doing something like every single day. And things just keep happening. And this is what happens. You get a sprained ass ankle. I've just been laying in bed for the past hour and a half, waiting for my beloved friends to come back and deliver me some food. Kind of feels wrong to just be sitting in a hotel room in another country doing nothing. Okay, I also want to say, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping my morale up quite high during all of this. Like twisting my ankle, losing my wallet, it sucks. I'm trying to have a good time, trying not to freak out, relatively I'm fine. Majority of the time, it's just thinking about the money I lost. Could have bought a lot of delicious night market food, but it's fine. I'm just very surprised that I'm not as upset as I thought I would have, because maybe if I did this like a couple years ago, I feel like I would, bye, I'm going back. Like, I can't handle this anymore. But I'm just pretty proud of myself for hanging in there.
Here was the food we ate that night that my sister and friend brought back. My favorite thing was definitely the oyster pancakes. During this period of the trip, I really started to feel like that Mr. Krabs meme where he rings the bell and says, "Give it up for day 6!" Anyways, my sister rented a motorbike to drive us around because, as you know, my ankle was messed up. And some background information, there was only really one thing that I was dead set on doing in Tainan, and it was actually to go to this Capybara Cafe and see the capybaras. Unfortunately, they didn't have any of the little cakes or tarts that I wanted to eat because we went a little too late in the day. But look at these big fellas, they're so good! The rest of the day, I can't really recall what I did exactly after we returned the motorbike. I think I took a nap in the hotel or something, and then at night we got some shoulder and back massages. Day 7, we headed back to Taipei in the afternoon, chugged my tea as usual. My friend was actually leaving this day, so we explored what we could in the area, hung out at one last cafe to grab some yummy food and drinks before sending them off. Of course, I didn't stay out too long because I really didn't want to irritate my ankle anymore, so I just tried my best to limit my outings as much as I could. We got some hearty chicken ramen that really helped me get through the chilly weather in Taipei. I saw some cool little frog dudes at a vintage thrift shop. There were so many of them. I got a jasmine tea jelly parfait with tongyuan on top, and I inhaled that shit. Hate to admit it, but day 8, I was hanging on by a thread. I lost count of the days. All we could do was eat and shop and eat and shop and eat, and then shop and then eat. But man, this place was really bussin'. My Americanized palate was getting really tired of the Asian food, so I ordered some pasta, and honestly, it totally satisfied all my cravings. Our last full day, not gonna lie, I was so excited to go back home, but I was also extremely determined to go to Jiufen and make the end of this trip memorable. My ankle was definitely not healed, but it felt better than the previous day, so I got on the bus, and it was the wrong bus, which caused me to freak out a bit, but it was totally fine. I just had an overreaction because I was just so on edge lately. The views were really nice, and I got there super quick and started to explore the alleyways full of the shops and food. It was raining on and off all day, and as much as I missed the sun, it didn't bother me as much as it usually does. I bought a pack of high mountain oolong tea, a couple of souvenirs for my BF and some of my friends as well. It was surprisingly really easy to navigate around this area because it wasn't crowded at all. I got to loop the whole place 3 times. Later, I met up with my sister since she went to go on a hiking trail nearby, and we found this really cute tea house that was super affordable and had a really great view on their top floor. I think we spent 3 hours here just talking and drinking tea. It was super relaxing. If any of y'all happen to be in the area and enjoy drinking tea, I highly suggest that you check it out. Suddenly, it started pouring down rain, but that did not stop us from hitting up one more night market. Luckily, we were already prepared with our ponchos, and it was our last night here, so we just wanted to go all in. My ankle, however, was most certainly not happy, but what can you do? And like clockwork, we got dessert, which was a bolo bao with some mango ice cream inside. The last day, we didn't do much. We had a flight to catch at like 7 p.m, so we just ate some breakfast, hit up this poppin' donut spot. It was very scrumptious, top 5 donuts I've ever eaten in my life. Was so relieved to head back home. You have no idea. I miss you, Hanoi. Okay, also, why was this McDonald's in Taipei airport like the best Mickey D's I've ever had? When I finally landed back in the States, I was so ready to just sleep for like a month straight and never leave my home. I don't know how travel YouTubers do it. Like, y'all truly are built different. If I have one minor setback, it's GG's for me. Like, I'm done. And I think that was very apparent throughout the end of this trip. Well, I learned a very valuable lesson, and that is, I have a limit of how many days I can comfortably travel until I go insane. If you're still here, thanks so much for sticking around to watch my adventures. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!